Howdy folks, this is Pete, the roaming prepper. Thank you for joining me today. I recently went on a charity clay shoot with some work colleagues, and lo and behold, despite our pitiful shooting, several of us won firearms, including myself. So today, I'm going to do a overview, just a brief one, on the Henry rifle. Yes, I won a Henry rifle. It's pretty badass. I'll be right back and we'll talk more about it. Howdy gang. So let's take an overview of this rifle. And as you can see, I have my helpful assistant, who is kind of oblivious at the moment. So in any case, this happens to be the Henry in 22 caliber. It is not the upgraded one with the gold inlays and all that. It's already been fire tested. We've taken it to the range. Now, this is a 16 plus 2, I'm sorry, 16 plus 1 tube that's loaded underneath. Unlike the larger Henrys, which are loaded with a loading port on the side, and you load the tube this way, and it has a, you've probably seen it on the old Westerns, it has the loading port on the right side. This does not have that. This is a tube loaded 22, much like the old classic 22s of years ago. What you do, as you can see, there's already a shaped cutout in the shape of a bullet. So you can't actually, I've actually tried just for giggles, you can't put a bullet in here backwards or upside down. So you load your rounds here, you load up to 16 22 shorts. I believe it's 12 22 longs, which is typically what I would use. And in you go. You push this down, and you find that little nub, and you just close it, and there you go. Now, I did clear the weapon before we started filming, but as you can see, this is a lever action rifle. Let's start from the front. Notice the sight on the front end. The round sight inside actually gives a very nice sight picture. And my eyes are not what they used to be, but I was able to acquire targets very easily with this. You have the full-length barrel. Now, it's slightly shorter than a hunting rifle for me. I would dare say it's about the length of an M1 carbine, for those of you familiar with that platform, or a Mini 14. It's about, it has that feel to it. The rear, you have the buckhorn sights. Now, I will tell you, we took it out of the box, and my son, home from deployment, and I went to the range to shoot it. And I was shooting this one, and I was putting targets in the circles, no problem. And I asked him, does it need more adjustment? I handed him the rifle, and he literally, at 25 yards, put with iron sights like that. And he was just goofing off. I guess there's a reason he's a designated sharpshooter for his old unit. In any case, the rifle comes with a soft plastic buttstock on the rear, a very nice flush wood. It's been smoothed over, completely finished. And then it just has the standard black coloration across the front, and of course the wooden foregrip. Now, disassembly is very simple. Basically, 2 screws on the left, 2 screws on the right, and you can immediately access the internals. Now, there was a bit of a trick, and I'm not going to play with it today because it was a bit of a challenge for me and my son. Putting it back together can get a bit tricky. There are a few parts in there that do not allow a lot of room for your fingers to get in and do what they need to do. So that being said, I would open it and clean it as necessary. To be honest, we shot 150 odd rounds with it, maybe 200. And other than the barrel and the chamber itself, the internals were really not in bad shape at all. The rifle did come test fired from the factory, And normally these retail for about 400 to 600 depending on the version you get. So this was a nice win, and I was very excited about it. And what I'll do now, I'm going to zoom out a little bit and we'll go over some of the action features. Alright gang, so let's take a little look at this rifle a little more up close while I'm holding it. So, as I mentioned, lever action 22 has a shrouded front sight, a buckhorn mid sight, which is your functional rear sight. Now, this particular model does have a small pseudo rail, if you will. It's not a Picatinny, it's like the old hunting rail, so you can put an optic on it. But keep in mind, this is really short. This is only about 4 inches. So I guess you could use a riser and put a long scope on it, and it should be just fine because it ejects off to the side. Or you can put a smaller optic if you want one. I myself am a bit of a traditionalist, and I happen to like the lever actions with nothing on them, but that's just a me thing. Absolutely, if it's something you want to do or it's functional, go for it. It should more than handle this. The rifle is, she's having fun down there. The rifle is well balanced. It's balanced. The balance point's pretty much right almost where your hand, just behind your hand. So this is your balance point. You see how I'm holding it? It's just forward of the trigger, right behind the foregrip. So that's a good balance. It's a nice looking rifle overall. As I said, well polished. Now, length of pull in this particular model is seems a little less than 12 inches. I have not put a tape measure to it, but it seems to be right at 11 to 12 inches just by holding it and gripping it. Now, again, loading, this is not a tactical weapon, so you're not going to load this quickly. You have to, actuate this little knob and then pull the thing out, pull the tube out and load it. Now, one important thing I noticed, if you hadn't seen it or noticed already, there is no safety on this firearm. There is no safety on the Henrys in general, but this one in particular. So if you've got the hammer back and you want to make the weapon safe, you actually have to pull it all the way back, pull the trigger, see if I can do it, and then drop it gently. There's really no way to make it safe. There's no other safety on the firearm. So again, if you're with a newer shooter and they've got a round in the chamber and they've done this, you either have to fire the round down range or eject it, or you'll have to very gently do that, and hopefully you don't discharge a round. This would take some practice, so be careful if you're using this firearm with a new shooter who may not have the trigger discipline or the understanding of the hammer and trigger necessary. The actual pull on the trigger is not very much. It doesn't have a lot of take up. There's no slack in the trigger, so you're going to move it just a hair and you're immediately going to feel it, and then the sear breaks. So it's a very crisp trigger. It doesn't slack. It's not a slow pull trigger. I shot rapidly with it, shot like a champ. It's nice. It has a nice feel to it, great sight picture, very accurate, and quite honestly, I really like shooting it. I haven't shot it as much as I'd hoped, but I found a stash of 22, so I'll probably go back to the range at some point in the next couple of weeks and just plink away happily, preferably in the middle of the day when no one else is there. I have a few clients who'll meet me for lunch at the range. They have a burger joint at our range, which is good, so we eat burgers and then shoot. In any case, this is a great little firearm. If you're looking for a great 22 for your truck, your ATV, horseback, or just a general plinker, whether you're an adult or a younger kid, obviously over 8, I guess. It's a little bit much for a small child. Great little rifle, carbine length. I liked it, guys. I was really excited to win it, and I thought you guys would like to know more about it. I would highly recommend this piece. It's easy to maintain, it's straightforward to function, and super accurate. I was surprised at the accuracy of this thing. In any case, guys, that's all I got for you. So thanks for coming by. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions that I may have glossed over a subject, or any technical issues that you were wondering about, put them in the comments below. Throw some questions out there. I try to respond within a day or so, depending on my work schedule. Until next time, if you're on the road, Godspeed. To all our troops, God bless. And to everyone else, be safe, be ready, pay attention, and help someone out if you get a chance. Until next time, take care.